All right, let's talk about something that's jumping right out of science fiction and into our headlines. Artificial General Intelligence, or AGI. It's a topic that's getting more real and way more debated by the day. So let's get into it.
So I'm guessing you've played around with ChatGPT, right? Had it write an email, maybe a silly song. That's AI, but it's a specialist. It's got one job. AGI, though, that is a whole different ballgame. We're talking about the moment the AI isn't just a tool, but a peer, a partner, that could potentially become smarter than its creators in, well, everything.
And that really gets us to the most important distinction we have to make right now. What we have today, all of it, is called narrow AI. You can think of it like a world-class genius who only knows one thing. Your self-driving car is brilliant at driving, but it can't help you with your taxes. ChatGPT is a wizard with words, but it can't diagnose a disease. The big dream, the hypothetical goal, is AGI, an intelligence that can learn and adapt across any domain, just like a human can.
So, what does that even mean? What's the blueprint here? When scientists talk about building AGI, what is the thing they're actually trying to create?
Well, the definition itself is kind of simple, but the implications are staggering. According to IBM, AGI is an AI that can match or even blow past human smarts at any cognitive task you throw at it. We're not just talking about beating us at chess. We're talking about reasoning, planning, creating, doing it all in a way that's totally indistinguishable from a person, or maybe even better.
So what's in the box? What would it take to build one? Well, it's way more than just raw computing power. A real AGI needs to have human-like reasoning. It needs that, that slippery thing we call common sense, all the unwritten rules about how the world works. But honestly, the real game changer, the one that keeps people up at night, is that last one. The ability to teach itself, to get smarter all on its own. Which, of course, brings us to the million-dollar question, the one everybody asks. So when? When do we get this thing? Is it around the corner, or is this something for our great-great-grandchildren?
Nobody in the field really sees this as a single eureka moment. It's more of a journey with a few big steps. Right now, we are planted firmly in step 1, narrow AI. The next stop might be what some people call broad AI, systems that can do a few different things but can't really generalize. And then comes the giant leap to step 3, true human-level AGI. So back to the when. If you ask 10 experts, you'll probably get 10 different answers. I mean, the predictions are all over the map. Some folks are talking about an intelligence explosion in the next few decades. Others are pretty sure it won't happen in our lifetime, maybe not even this century. And then you have people like MIT's Rodney Brooks who thinks we could be waiting until 2300. The honest answer? Nobody really knows for sure. So let's just ground ourselves for a second. Here's the reality check. Right now, today, we are still in that first stage. AGI isn't just a bigger, better version of ChatGPT. It requires fundamental, paradigm-shifting breakthroughs that, frankly, we haven't made yet. Okay, so if it's that hard, and maybe that far away, why are we doing it? Why are we pouring billions of dollars and just immense brain power into this quest? Well, because the potential upside, it's the kind of thing that could literally change the world. The motivations here are some of the biggest challenges we face. Just imagine an intelligence that could help us figure out climate change, or find a cure for cancer, or just accelerate scientific discovery at a pace we can barely even imagine. And, on a deeper level, maybe by building another kind of intelligence, we can finally start to understand our own. And then you have to follow the money, of course. The estimated economic impact of AI is already massive. We're talking nearly $16 trillion. Now imagine what happens when an AGI amplifies that. It would completely reshape productivity and every economy on the planet. And that impact would touch everything. Seriously, every part of our lives. From personalized medicine tailored to your DNA, to discovering new materials for clean energy, to completely overhauling how we get around. There's not a single area of society that AGI couldn't, in theory, transform for the better. But, and this is a really, really big but, for every incredible utopian promise of AGI, there is an equally terrifying dystopian peril.
And the people who are closest to this technology, they're taking these risks very, very seriously.
From a security standpoint, the worries are, well, they're profound. I mean, what happens when someone builds an autonomous weapon that thinks faster than we do? What does an AGI arms race even look like? All of this leads to the scariest question of all. How do you pull the plug on a superintelligence that doesn't want to be unplugged? And it goes way beyond the military. Think about the societal risks. What happens to our jobs, to our political systems? The ultimate fear, the one that many top experts talk about, is a total loss of human control. And that leads to this very sobering phrase, existential risk, a threat to the future of humanity itself.
And all of these fears, they really boil down to one central nightmare. It's not just creating something that's smarter than us. The real danger is creating something that's smarter than us, but has zero empathy, a warped moral compass, and goals that just don't line up with ours. That's what they call the alignment problem, and it is the central challenge for anyone trying to build AGI safely.
So this brings us to the ultimate point. AGI isn't a storm that's just going to arrive on our doorstep. It's a technology that we are actively, consciously choosing to build, which means we have a choice in how this story ends.
It really does come down to these two futures standing side by side. On the one hand, you have the potential to solve our biggest problems, and on the other, the potential to create our very last one. This is the tightrope we're all walking now.
So is there a responsible way forward? What does that even look like? Well, the experts tend to agree on a few big ideas. Safety can't be an add-on, it has to be baked in from the very beginning. This has to be an international team sport, not a reckless race to the bottom. And maybe, most importantly, we have to figure out how to build our ethics, our deepest human values, right into the core of these systems.
In the end, we're left with this profound paradox. AGI could give us the power to solve humanity's greatest problems, or it could be our last problem. The challenge isn't just about code, it's about our own wisdom, our own morality, and the question of how we choose the right path. Well, that might be the most important question we'll ever have to answer.